Welcome back, guys, to another video. I've just finished watching Everton 0, West Ham United 1. But before we get into the match reaction, guys, and give my opinion on it, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. Hit the like button for more West Ham videos. Also, guys, we have gone to Everton, a ground that we do not normally travel well to, and picked up 3 points. Not going to lie, guys, it was a pretty dull game. But let's get into the starting lineup. A couple of changes from the game against Southampton. We saw Benrahma have a little bit of an impact against Southampton. Probably should have scored. He starts in this game. Bowen comes back into the team. Dawson keeps his place. Soufal also comes in for Fredericks, who looks like confirmed by David Moyes that he does have COVID. And there was a late change in the starting 11. Fabianski gets injured in the warm-up. Hopefully it's not too of a long one, because when it seems that Lucas Fabianski does get injuries, they seem to be long-term injuries. So hopefully it's not too bad. It's just, you know, maybe a week or so out. And Darren Randolph comes in to replace him. Now, we played absolutely fantastic defensively. I was very impressed with the shape, and I spoke in Hammer's chat build up with Gonzo and Gio before the game. When I looked at the starting 11, I felt that we could win this game. I really did. And the main reason why is because Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been the shining light for Everton so far this season. One of the top Premier League goal scorers. He is someone that thrives off crosses. And looking at that Everton team, I was thinking, well, where's his supply coming from? James Rodriguez is on the bench, who's coming away from injury. You have Richarlison on the pitch, so maybe that could be an alternative in terms of supply. But the main player that gets down the line, puts crosses into the box, and makes sort of a presence for Dominic Calvert-Lewin is Luca Dean. Luca Dean. He's the main one for Everton. So when I saw that Ben Godfrey was at left back, I thought, you know what, we can actually get at this Everton team. It wasn't that at all, because the first half was pretty boring from both teams. We saw lots of sideways passes, lots of, you know, going back to the goalkeeper, going back to centre-back. No team wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck and be like, you know what, we are the ones that want to stamp our authority. We're the ones that want to take the game to opposition. Both teams were sort of trying to, you know, feel each other out and just try and understand what both teams were doing. And both teams, West Ham were happy to sit behind the ball and soak up pressure. But then when Everton got the ball, they didn't really have that player like James Rodriguez, who could play that, you know, that threading pass in between defensive lines to cause West Ham problems. And in terms of our defenders, I thought Ogbonna was absolutely fantastic. Ogbonna for me was man of the match. The amount of times in the first and the second half, Everton would get a corner and he would jump up, attack the ball, head the ball out. You can see why West Ham, in terms of the amount of goals we've conceded from set pieces, we're one of the lowest in terms of the division. And you know, we were absolutely fantastic defensively. I thought Dawson had a decent game. Now Benrahma did start, and I want to talk about Benrahma's performance, because I feel like Benrahma's performance reflects on how the game went for West Ham in terms of when we got on the ball. When we did get on the ball, and the opposition gave away the ball to West Ham, and there was opportunities for us to counter-attack, I could feel like that Benrahma, his confidence has sort of been hit back in terms of what David Moyes said, that he needs to be better in terms of his decision-making, he needs to be better in terms of ball retention. Now, I totally get ball retention in terms of maybe your CDMs or your centre-backs. But your centre attacking midfielders, the players that are supposed to influence, have an impact on the game. Bruno Fernandes, I'm not comparing Benrahma to Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes, right? If you look at that Manchester United team, he gives away the ball the most. He loses the most amount of possession on that Manchester United team. Now, why is that? Because when he gets the ball, he's looking for a forward pass. He's looking for a pass that can influence the match in terms of getting the ball in between a defender or between a defence for a striker or an attacker to run onto the ball. And that is why he gives away the ball a lot. Is because that when he does it, sometimes it don't pull off. It doesn't come off, but you have to attempt it. And I feel like Benrahma, there was a couple of times, there was one time in the first half, he did try and do it for Haller. It didn't come off. And I feel like he's probably got that in the back of his mind in terms of that if he does maybe try and play a decisive ball, that maybe, you know, can catch the opposition, you know, catch the opposition out. He doesn't want to play it because he's fearful of losing the ball and then David Moyes coming out. At the end of the day, we can't take the creativity out of our players. It's okay sitting back and defending very well, but it's what happens when we win possession. keep, be in a defensive solid shape. We're not going to keep clean sheets all the time. We're not that good of a team to do it. Whilst we have picked up 2 on the bounce against Southampton and Everton, both very good sides, there's going to be a time where we'll be defensively solid and still concede a goal. So it's very important that when we do get the ball, we have to be a little bit risk adverse. And I feel like the last couple of weeks, we've sort of gone away from that. We've been a little bit more reliant on set pieces. And the sort of attacking combinations and patterns that we've seen in the weeks like Leicester City away, Wolves at home, we've sort of been missing that a little bit lately. Even against Manchester United, we were fantastic going forward. It was just our ruthlessness in front of goal just wasn't up to scratch. And that's what we need to do. David Moyes, for me, has to realise that players such as, Benrahma, Fornals, Bowen, they are going to give the ball away. That's what their job is there to try and create and score goals. And I felt, generally though, he done okay, Benrahma. He done nothing more than okay. I thought he worked very, very hard for the team. There was a couple of times he got stuck in. And I thought it was a little bit odd from Steve McManaman, whatever his name is. He said that there was a couple of opportunities for Benrahma on the edge of the box and he tried shifting it out from his left foot to his right, or he passed it out to Cresswell, had a shot across goal. He said he needs to be a little bit tougher. But the opponent that he come against was Doucouré, and I was thinking, it doesn't matter if, Benrahma puts on 10 pounds of muscle. He ain't bullying Doucouré in terms of physicality. And I thought that Doucouré, especially for the first 10 or 15 minutes, West Ham couldn't really cope with him in terms of his physicality, him driving with the ball. But generally, we done very, very well defensively, nullifying Everton's threat. I said that, I thought their main supplier was getting the ball into the box. Dominic Calvert-Lewin thrives off that. They ended up taking him off, which I think was a superb job and a fantastic game plan defensively. Now, going into the second half, we make a couple of substitutions very early on. Haller comes off in around about 55th minute for Antonio. He actually has one of our first opportunities for the game. He gets the ball. He's running at the Everton defence. He opens his body up. Not enough power on behind it, but it was the right idea. It was a comfortable save for Pickford. Now, David Moyes proceeds to bring on a couple of changes. He takes off Bowen in around about the 70-odd minute, and he also takes off Fornals. He brings on Lanzini, and he brings on... Who did he bring on? Yarmolenko. Now, I was very surprised for Benrahma to stay on the pitch. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting him to come off. I thought he was going to come off because, again, whilst he did do stuff on the ball at times, he didn't really get involved in the game. And that's not just for Benrahma. That's for Bowen. That's for Fornals. And that's for the whole of the Everton team. The attacking play from both teams today was pretty naff and, very one-dimensional and boring. But the one time that I was talking about, taking a risk on the ball, trying to open up a defence was the one time for Yarmolenko. Now, I mentioned in my previous video, the match reaction against Southampton, that Yarmolenko in that game cemented himself as an impact player. And I feel like today was further evidence that he is an impact player. Now, in terms of the way that David Moyes is trying to build this team and the kind of transitions, you need to rely on pace. Yarmolenko isn't built for this team. He isn't built for this team. He isn't someone who's going to sit back, do his defensive duties, and then have the pace to get forward like a Bowen. He just doesn't fit in this team. Yarmolenko is sort of a guy that you're trying to get back into the game, or you're trying to win, and you're expecting to maybe have, a little bit more chances or a little bit more of the ball. He can come on, do a couple of step overs, try and put the cross in, or try and make something happen. And the first time that West Ham actually make a risky pass was from Yarmolenko. He gets the ball. Now, there's a player between him and Souček. So what does he do? He does a little scoop over the top, which was about a 5-yard pass, a little 5-yard scoop over the defender to Thomas Souček. There's a half volley parried out by Jordan Pickford. It comes out to Aaron Cress, who smashes it, takes a small deflection. But there is Thomas Souček again. What a signing he has been. His 5th goal of the season already. I'm pretty sure he is top goal scorer. What a signing this guy has been. What a signing. £14 million. I hate to actually think how much he's worth. And I know there's a lot of talk regarding West Ham in terms of our recruitment and the amount of players like Diop, Haller, how much money, Anderson, how much money have we realistically lost on some of these players? Thomas Souček, £14 million. Absolutely fantastic. He's probably at least worth double that, at least 30 million. Another goal to his name, arriving late in the box. And it was one of the few opportunities that he was allowed to get into the box and actually have an impact. Because when Antonio did come on, the game did open up a little bit. What happens? Antonio comes onto the pitch. He's more willing to run the channels that Haller is not willing to do. He's more willing to do that. So what happens? The defenders, the opposition, the Everton defenders have to come out wide. They have to come out wide, try and deal with that threat. And then that allows players such as Thomas Souček, such as Benrahma to go above and beyond Antonio to try and cause a nuisance and be a presence in the box. And that's exactly what happened in terms of Thomas Souček. He follows his run after having his shot and we nick it for 1-0. What a result. I would have taken a draw before the game, personally. I know we have picked up a lot of draws and it's a huge, huge result because whilst we have been picking up points the last couple of games, they've been draws. And, you know, I would rather have beaten Brighton and lost to Southampton because we would have been 1 point better off. So whilst draws are draws and it looks good that you haven't lost, I would have rather have beaten Brighton and then lost to Southampton because we'd be 1 point better off. But we did see that a couple of teams around us, especially in the bottom half, like Arsenal, been picking up a couple of wins, been getting a couple of wins, and it sort of closed the gap. But now West Ham on 26 points. We are 3 points off second. We're joined, 5th or 6th based on goal difference, where the reason why we're 10th, we haven't moved, is because of goal difference. But guys, it's a positive, a fantastic win. We go into an FA Cup game now. And in our next home game, our next couple of fixtures are very, very winnable. I think it's Burnley at home, and we've got a couple of winnable fixtures, I think, the next couple of games. So it's important that we play this same team because I don't want to see a 5 at the back against Brighton and then play more attacking at Everton or play more attacking formation. I want to see us play the 4-2-3-1 and then be a little bit more defensive against the bigger teams. But it worked out. It worked out today. Defensively, we were absolutely unreal. Ogbonna was my man of the match. Defensively, we were fantastic, but Ogbonna was the one for me that stood out. Souček gets a goal, absolutely buzzing with that win. It's a ground that we haven't travelled well at all, apart from, last time I remember we won was when Payet scored that winning goal when we won 3-2 and scored 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. Guys, that is going to be the end of the video. Make sure you check out my other West Ham content. We talk about generic West Ham stuff, give my opinion on it, give your opinion down below in the comment section, guys, what you felt about the game. What a result. West Ham 1, Everton 0, or Everton 0, West Ham 1. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe for more. Catch you later. See you later.